Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Weekly Deep. Alright, glad to have everybody back for another round of this. You'll probably notice that I am not a big, giant, burly lumberjack. Unfortunately, Chris Cheesem is out today, so myself, Nathan Manata, I'll be filling in for him, and that basically means it's all downhill from here. So, jumping right into things, so much has happened since we last saw you. Last Thursday, we had a rigging workshop. Last Thursday, we had a rigging workshop with the one and only Captain Bly.
All right, so first you need to start out by figuring out your percentage.
And this was a really fun event. It was a smaller group, so everybody got a lot of one-on-one, hands-on with Bly.
We're working with a regular ID.
Everyone got to tie some knots, stretch some bands.
Feel how much it went down?
Yeah.
And ask those thought-provoking questions that we all wish that we could ask when you have somebody who has spent their entire life on the water. So all in all, really cool event. We'll definitely be having more like this, so stay in tune for that. This weekend, we finally got a break in the weather to get out and enjoy some conditions. So back on land, the crew was teaching a freediving class, and Sunday we did our regular Sunday line dive meetup. Chris and I were off frolicking on our new favorite toy, the Bobby Lee. So Saturday, we went out for a local kelp tour. Stop one, we started out and things were looking pretty green and murky from the surface. Thank goodness, as I got to depth, things opened up to about 15 feet or so. We picked up anchor from there and moved up north about 45 minutes to another spot that we know that tends to be a little bit better conditions. And sure enough, it paid off. Things opened up another 10 feet or so. 20, 25 foot visibility, lots of life on the bottom. Unfortunately, it's seeming like a lot of the kelp is hurting this year. I think this winter has really done a hurting on the kelp, and so just not nearly as much volume as we usually see. Sunday, we had a different group. We headed out to the Coronado Islands, and Sunday was the day I've been looking for a long time. The visibility was great, and there was just tons of life out everywhere. I think even the fish have been hunkering down in all this weather. Finally, they got a nice calm window and they were out and about. So just everywhere you looked, there was huge masses of fish. And one of my favorite things to see, a lot of sheephead. I always love to see those in good numbers because they are such an important species to our reef here in California. So I knew that I couldn't get too used to these conditions because in usual style, as soon as things get good, we get hit by another storm of wind and swell. And that's exactly what happened on Monday. Blew all that visibility right out of the water. But on that note, our weather forecast for the near future is actually for once looking decent. Oh, hello there, and welcome to the weekly Dive Viz forecast. Me and my sister here will do our best to fill in for Chris Cheesem. We had a big push in of wind and swell on Monday. Here Tuesday, tapered off, and as we go through the week, it looks very nice. Basically, just look at these blocks, and the smaller they are, the better. So waves look like they're holding at about 2 feet. Until next week on Monday, it starts picking up again a little bit. Looks like the mornings are going to be the time to get on it. Afternoons, things will pick up, but then they kind of die off at night. So this is great diving conditions. So this weekend could potentially be wonderful. Looking into the following week to Wednesday, it picks up from 4 to 5, 6 to 7, even saying 8 feet. So the good news is here for the next week or so, until Monday, we're looking at some fun diving, and this weekend should be great. So get out there, enjoy it. We haven't had a window like this in a minute. While we've got a nice break in the weather here for the next week or two or so, Chris and I are heading out to Hawaii to run our Hawaii freediving camp. So Chris and I will be out there in Hawaii from the 9th to the 15th. We do have some last minute spots that have opened up, so if someone's got a flexible schedule, wants to come out and dive, that's open, so let us know. that makes perfect sense that as soon as Chris and I leave, weather here is gonna get great. So enjoy the conditions. We will be running Sunday line diving and we'll be hosting classes this weekend as well. So make sure, sign up online, reserve your spot because spaces are limited. We'll be dropping another video for our Know the Ropes series here online today, so make sure to check that out.
I grew up listening to my dad tell all these like kelp stories, you know, of like hunting calicos in the kelp and, you know, seeing the yellowtail go by on the edge and stuff like that. So the kelp is kind of like a special place for me in the water.
Today's episode was brought to you by Giblet and Rolled Goals, where every rolled is gold. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys next week in the deep. Take it easy.
Jibby, want a pretzel?